Tonight, in a 60-page decision, a federal judge says there's no reason for DACA to end.
The judge ruled the government must accept new applications into the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program.
This ruling is good news for smuggling organizations and criminal networks, and horrible news for our national security.
The DACA recipients have already been able to renew their DACA status for a while now, thanks to other rulings in the past. What is different about this ruling?
This ruling would potentially, in 90 days, open the door to new DACA applicants, and that it adds one more court that has ruled similarly to the other two courts. So it really strengthens the positions of the other courts as well.
Moni Ruiz-Velasco is the executive director of an immigration rights organization in the Chicago area. She's also an immigration attorney, and she helped us shed light on what the latest ruling on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program means for current DACA recipients as well as potential first-time applicants.
And who are those first-time applicants who could, if the ruling stays, now also apply for DACA? Who are they?
Well, there's a couple of different categories. One is people who, for one reason or another, never applied before. So maybe they didn't have the money, or maybe they weren't sure, or maybe they were scared. There's a lot of reasons why people didn't initially apply. The other important group, and I think is the group that a lot of us are going to focus on, are people who aged into DACA. So people who have been here since 2007, but who turned 15 years old in the last while. So you have to be at least 15 to apply for DACA, and if you turn 15 after September, when the president ended the DACA program, you weren't able to apply anymore.
What have you heard from DACA recipient and potential first-time applicants? What is their reaction to the latest news?
There's just been so much confusion. So, you know, the main thing I think right now is getting the message out, but I think people are feeling like, wait, can I apply? Can I not apply? I think it's going to be important for people to make sure they don't fall prey to becoming victims of fraud, so that they should know that right now they cannot apply if they're new applicants, only renewals, and then we have to wait the 90 days. So people can start preparing, people can understand what the requirements are and what they need to gather, but there's nothing to apply for yet. I think the difference right now in this moment, though, is that people were scared before, but I think people will be more scared today, especially if they've never been in the government system in any other way, of saying, under the current terms of this administration, am I willing to give up all my information?
Because the ones who renew, they know that the information on them is already available to the government.
Exactly.
Being a first-time applicant, if the option to apply for DACA becomes a thing for them, then the next question is, do we trust the government enough to do it?
Exactly, yeah, and given the record that this administration has shown, I think people will be, and they should be, you know, it's a legitimate fear, right? That people are going to be scared. I think people are going to have to balance out the benefit with the fear.
DACA protections will be available to eligible first-time applicants by the end of July, only if the administration cannot come up with a reason good enough for the courts as to why DACA should be rescinded. If that occurs, the Supreme Court will then likely review the case.